Ontario's Liberals, teachers' unions, and your money. I'm Brian Lilly with the Rebel.media. Do you remember last fall we were telling you the stories about the Ontario Liberals granting millions of dollars to teachers' unions? This is the story that the Globe and Mail held back because they didn't want it coming out during the election or on voting day. It might harm Justin Trudeau. But secret payments made from the Ontario taxpayer via the Ontario Liberals into the pockets, into the coffers of Ontario's teachers' unions that had been very nice to the Ontario Liberals, even helping them get re-elected. Well, due to that reporting, there were calls for the Auditor General to investigate, and now she's released her report. Bonnie Lysyk says that since 2000, $80.5 million has gone from the coffers of the Government of Ontario into the coffers of teachers' unions, and it has nothing to do with paying for schools. It has nothing to do with paying for the education system. It's about helping the unions. Specifically, she points to $22 million handed out in 2006 with no strings attached. Bonnie Lysyk actually calls this an outlier. She calls it an odd program and says that it should cease. But the teachers' unions and the government, well, they say she just doesn't understand. Isn't this their standard response now? Just like when she said that the Ontario Energy Program was, well, the move towards smart meters, that it was providing little value for money. She can't possibly understand, is what Bob Chiarelli said. Now they're saying she can't understand sliding money across the table in big fat envelopes to the people that are going to help you get re-elected. Now, Lysyk did not say that there was any quid pro quo, but she did call it an unusual practice that should be stopped. But let's look at the facts here. In the last election, unions, led by the teachers' union, spent more money than any single political party. Most of that went to help get Kathleen Wynne and the Liberals elected. Then they started reimbursing them for their negotiating costs. $80 million over the last 16 years, $22 million in 1 year alone that had no strings attached, and then reimbursing them for negotiating costs. By the way, the audit also found that in nowhere else where unions, public sector unions reimbursed by the government, not even other public sector unions in Ontario, reimbursed for negotiating costs. This is a very cozy relationship of using your money to help get Kathleen Wynne and the Liberals elected by rewarding her friends. It's all very clear. It's the type of thing that should be denounced from every quarter. But don't worry, Kathleen Wynne has her defenders. While most media are running with $80 million, the largest circulation newspaper in the country, the one that has the biggest circulation in the largest city in the province, they're going with a much smaller number. Check out this headline from the Toronto Star. They don't say 80 million. They don't cite 22 million. They say 2.5 million. Much smaller number. Little less, well, maybe you can just ignore that. Maybe you don't care quite as much when it's just 2.5 million. This is going to be part of the strategy from Liberals, including those at the Red Star, to try and deflect. But let's make one thing clear. Kathleen Wynne is using your money for partisan gain. Now she's been caught. The audit report has been filed, and she's going to have to answer for this one way or another.
Thanks for watching. Click here to never miss a Rebel update. Want even more of the Rebel? Well, click here to become a premium member.